Okay, right, welcome. Let's check if this is actually making sound. Since this is my first video, I don't want it to be terrible. Okay, it is good. All right, welcome to my first YouTube video, I guess. It's a bit of a weird one to film. I'm not used to holding a camera up, pointing at my face, especially not in public, right? As you might be able to hear, or at least tell by the background. I am currently in my local paddle club. And basically, I just want to start a little bit of a series, right? I noticed that pretty much all paddle content, understandably, is done by really good players, right? Professional players or full-time paddle players in one way or another, right? People that have come from racket backgrounds or played paddle for years and years, and I am none of those things, right? My sporting background is playing some football when I was younger and going to the gym a lot for the last few years, right? My profession is within the sport of powerlifting, so I am a guy that lifts really heavy weights, basically, and that's as far as it goes in terms of sports. But unfortunately for my bank account, I have got the paddle bug, and I've been loving it over the last maybe 3 or 4 months, so I'm still very much a beginner, but I've managed to get myself up to a 3-ish rating over the last few months, so don't worry, you're not going to be watching total beginner content, but this will very much be the road to 4 rating, right? That's my goal for 2026, to go up from a 3 to a 4, play some higher level matches, maybe play a few tournaments, maybe even go on a paddle holiday or 2. And I think bringing you guys on that journey will keep me focused on that goal, and hopefully it will give you guys something relatable to watch, and hopefully I can have a little bit of fun with some of my paddle partners and some of my mates that I play with as well. I've actually already recorded a few games, so this is a retroactive intro, so you're about to jump back to where I had less of a haircut. So enjoy that first one. I'm about to go and play, I think, what will be my 3rd or 4th video in terms of the paddle matches. So you'll see me playing this one maybe in YouTube video number 4, I think, of this series. We've got to go back on a few of the other games that I started playing this year, because I'm going to try and track pretty much all of them and some of my training to get better alongside that. Okay, so this is my first time ever doing one of these little voiceovers, so I am definitely going to make some mistakes in here, but I have promised myself to do it in one take. Hopefully I've filmed a little bit of content prior to this recording so that you know what this channel's about, maybe a little bit about who I am and why I'm filming these videos. But yeah, as you can see, off to a really good start, missing everything, blaming the court. So this is a 3-ish rated game. That's what most of my games are going to be from here on out, because that is kind of the goal. I do want to bring my paddle level up, not for any particular reason other than just enjoying being good at things, to be honest. I'd like to maybe go to a tournament or 2 this year, try and really sort of push my level up in that respect. I know that my cardio is definitely not there for something like that at the moment, but that's something that I'm trying to improve as well. And also just, play at a level where I can enjoy it a bit more than some of these rallies are too short, right? And I'm looking to lengthen those by increasing the quality of my shots, because you can see here these games are getting rattled off quickly, right? It's already round 1 and we haven't really rallied for more than a few shots yet. And this is really what a 3-ish level in the UK, at least in my area in the Midlands, looks like. And I think this is a pretty fair representation of the level here at Just Paddle. Derby, it's a very old club, it's a massive club, super high quality courts, and definitely some good players here. So whatever the ratings are at this club, I tend to believe them, right? There are a few at the more new clubs in the area that definitely aren't quite as accurate, but yeah, with this game I think everyone is playing at about what their Playtomic did suggest to me before I turned up here. So as you can see, rattling off the first few games here, my partner isn't someone that I know, so this is our first time playing together, so we need to get sort of accustomed to how each other play. I think he was playing a fairly passive game, just trying to knock everything back. As you can see, the guy in the blue here, George, was fairly aggressive. He was probably the best player on the court as well. He was pretty comfortable with his volleys, and he could hit the ball pretty hard. So we did notice that his shot selection probably wasn't something that worried us too much. He tended to smash it pretty much every opportunity, and we were getting a lot of chances like that one where I could come up to the net and just kick the ball back to their side, because they were popping it up off the glass so far. Like, here's another one again, and here's another point for us. So we caught onto that pretty early doors, but we did also need to hit some winners of our own, right? We couldn't rely on them just making mistakes or just giving us an easy ball here or there, because yeah, I think this level is a little bit above that now, where there are some good quality players, quite a lot of people that have very quickly transitioned to paddle from tennis, I find. I'm sure as you go up the levels and you get to my sort of target level, which for now I would keep at a 4, I'm sure those tennis players can't just walk into those games and start using the quality of their shots to their advantage, right? I think there's probably more tactics and more sort of shot combinations that they use, but I'm definitely not at that sort of level at the moment where I have total control of a point and I don't really get to decide when I win a lot of my points. A lot of it is trying to do the best with the situation that I've got, which you can see there I didn't do, right? Straight into the sky and into the cage, not the best. But yeah, if any of you guys that are watching this are someone that is a little bit higher quality player than myself, which I'm sure a lot of you are, if you're on YouTube watching very niche powerlifting, powerlifting is my other sport, very niche paddle videos, then I'm sure you'll have some advice for me here. I know that I need to keep a lot of my overhead shots down. I think it's a really bad habit of mine that I tend to knock them up quite high and they're spinning off the black glass and they're making it really easy for my opposition, kind of like that one there, which he does give me a nice X4 for. I did get a couple of those this match, couple winners. They're always really satisfying, kind of smashing them out of the court. Can't quite reach that one though. His smashes did start to get better and better throughout the game. The balls really weren't very fast as well, so he is doing pretty well to bring those almost back to his side. I'm not really used to playing with balls this slow. It did actually make a lot of these rallies longer than I was used to, which yeah, as I mentioned at the start, with my sort of gym background, no cardio background whatsoever, did take its toll on me a little bit here. You can see that I'm not moving the quickest and it only slows down throughout this game. I do tend to gas out by the time I'm towards the end of a third set, let's say, which as you'll see here, doesn't end up being the most important thing in the world, because yeah, this one's done in 2 sets. We are battling pretty well here. I'm getting a lot better at this sort of volley lob or half volley lob to get me out of a bit of trouble, but they do play quite a lot of good quality here. They're getting pretty much everything back. I don't think we can quite really hit the ball hard enough to get past them, and as you can see, James goes for a little bit too much there, smashes it into the back glass. So a really painful way to go 6-4, because we felt like we played pretty well, like we were solid throughout that first set, but yeah, they just missed a little bit less than us, I think. As you can see there, getting George back with one of the smashes. He hit us quite a few times throughout this match. It was becoming a little bit of a running joke that he was just aiming for us. There he goes again, almost trying to hit me there, but I dodge it and it goes into the back glass. So solid start to this one. If we just ignore that, we won't look at that again. Moving on. We felt like the first set was winnable, but yeah, maybe this is me gassing out a little bit too much here. I do struggle sometimes when I have to come across the court, because I do like to play primarily on the left side. So when I'm serving from the right, I think I need to be a lot faster getting over to that side and covering before I get beat down the line like that, because that's just too easy of a shot for someone like Phil, especially when he's left-handed. I think it's pretty comfortable for him to forehand that down the line. So yeah, we're still surviving here. Something quite interesting that George does when he can see that they're struggling, right? We've got a break, we're 2-1 up. He just takes his time over there, right? He's using all his time that is socially acceptable to reset, because I think he was getting a little bit annoyed with some of his shots, and he felt like that bit of time to sort of think it through and make sure that he's calmed down again is what he needed. And annoyingly for us, I think it worked for him, right? He did sort of step his level back up again. As you can see, I'm missing way too much here. Another one into the side. I'm trying to do as much as I can to win these points, because I can see that when I'm sort of taking these, I guess you could call these bajadas, I wouldn't really, or bandecas, sorry, I wouldn't really describe it as that. It's more of just an overhead push that I'm going for to get the ball back. I miss a smash there again, trying to sort of force George into his back corner, but I need to really work on letting that ball drop and sort of wrapping around it a little bit better. Bit of an improvement on the smash there. I do like to come into the middle and kind of force the ball cross court. Missing another one there. I didn't actually realise in this moment just how much I was letting James down here. I think we had a pretty even share of the misses throughout the first set, and I think James felt pretty bad that his big smash was what sort of sealed the first set for Bill and George. But yeah, in this second set I can see now that actually a lot of the mistakes were mine, especially the big mistakes that shouldn't be happening, right, where we've kind of gotten on the front foot, or I've gotten myself into a good position where I can apply some pressure, and then I'm losing out on it, right. I think I'm just not used to that sort of pressure, I suppose, within the point, and not used to needing to put so much quality on the ball. A little bit better there, right. I could see that George had already moved out of position, so I didn't want to smash it right into his racket. But yeah, 3-2 to them, and they're bringing it back from the break that we got earlier in the match. I think a really good way of looking at the breaks tends to be that they don't count until you've then won your next service game. I've seen quite a lot of high level paddle players giving it the same mindset, and I'm kind of trying to do that myself. Another smash into George, getting him back again. I think that's probably my main goal when I'm actually smashing, especially cross court, is to aim relatively at the player, because it tends to be a little bit harder for them to get out of the way and play a good shot, whereas if I'm creating an angle for them, then it's a little bit easier for them to get their racket on it. Yeah, as you can see, another little X4 there. A little bit of additional editing, definitely not my expertise. Don't know about any of the viewers here, but definitely paddle YouTubers, I've gained a bit of respect for them after doing this video, because I could not believe how difficult it was to keep track of the score while watching the whole video and chopping it up and making sure that I've got the right numbers there in the top left, because yeah, that was a very time consuming edit, especially adding the little captions in with some zooms and things of that nature. I'm sure as I upload more of these I'm going to get a little bit better. That was a big mistake from me, right? This was a crucial point. I think this was one where we could have potentially taken this set. As you can see, Phil's really happy with that one. George got out of position, right? He gave me an easy ball, and instead of just rolling it to the back of the court, I smashed it, right? And it went right back onto his racket, made it easy for him, and then I give him the game. As you can see, I'm a little bit pissed off because, yeah, we're back on serve, and I think the momentum has massively shifted, right? It was definitely in our favour at the start of this set, and that's why they needed to reset and sort of take their time a little bit, but now it's in their favour, right? And I think they've kind of found their strategy, and they're not missing anywhere near as many balls as they were at the start of this match. So they're looking to close this one out. They're looking to take my rating points from me and bring me below a 3 to start this series, which is a little bit sad. Nice little shot down the middle there, to be honest. Always down the middle seems to be a difficult one, especially when you're playing with a partner that you've never played with before. It's always hard to communicate well, just because you don't know how each other kind of talk, and you don't really know what the other one wants to hear. So I was quite vocal in this game, and I think I will try and mic myself up for some of the other games so that you can hear that, because I do like to talk as much as I can with my partner, you know, when I know them, because obviously it's easy to do that and you should do that, but also when I don't know them, it's probably even more important, because I'm trying to sort of calm them down and make sure they know when I think they've played a good shot, or when, you know, they've done something well. Yeah, as you can see, I've just completely missed an overhead there. Didn't manage to get to the ball, so it's 5-3 to them. They're serving to win the match. George is looking pretty good at the minute here. I can't even get to that smash. He's managed to almost bring it back to his side. And yeah, not enough talking probably from me and James throughout this one, even when I was trying to give him as much communication as possible, because We missed too many of those down the middle, as you can see. I'm sort of hesitating. Is that ball mine? Is it not? Straight into the net. 6-3 to them. Bit of a tough start to my journey. Nevertheless, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.